into maybe the 4th video. I'm trying to figure out how many segments we've been through since starting my journey this morning. I needed to get oranges at Target. I went to a Target yesterday, but they didn't have the oranges that I needed. They have mandarins. 3-pound bag, I guess. Is that right? I have to look again, or 5-pound. Anyway, you get 20 some mandarins, like say 22 mandarins per bag for $4.39 was the price here. So I'm trying to stick to those. My favorite mandarins, because of how good they taste, even though Targets are pretty good, so are the Peelz, P-E-E-L-Z, which you can get a giant, but it's half the amount of mandarins. You get like 10 or 11 mandarins at best, and then if one goes bad, then you lose one for like $4.99. I guess that's about right. So even though the price is the same, you get half the amount of mandarins in the bag. So it depends, you know, on what's available, what I feel like doing. But right now I just wanted to get more oranges and not pay so much for less oranges, mandarins. Good Friday, so it's nice and quiet. A lot of people probably have off. We have 222 North 17th Street here off to the right, and this is the office for the Basilica of Saints Peter and Paul. And the Basilica is sort of off in that direction over there. You can barely see it. There it is. And then they built these cathedral lofts, or is that what they're called? This is a brand new residence here off to the right. It's only a couple years old, and I believe they're called cathedral lofts appropriately. So, right in the cathedral neighborhood, you know. So it's like the meat packing district, you know. They wind up with the meat warehouses. Butcher Palace or what have you. Friends Select School. It's interesting because along the way here in Philadelphia, I would sort of run into a gaggle of people in the neighborhood, if you will. And, you know, one of the women I met there, you knew that I probably got real tired of the way some people were behaving in a certain circle of friends there. And she's like, okay, that's okay, you're selective of your friends. It's better to be selective than just being, you know, trying to be friends with everybody in creation, or, you know. And it's sort of like when you're trying to build a life, you want to have supportive, good people, not overly controlling people who set people up as if they're immature 7-year-olds, you know, or 7th graders. So I think it's interesting, she said it's good to be selective, and here we have Friends Select, and Friends is a private school that a lot of people, they're in a lot of states, a lot of communities. The thing is, like, if you go to Friends, which is really a Quaker reference, I think they're a Quaker pacifist school. They teach peace and friendship per se, the word friendship would be used in that context. But again, it could be used, I guess, to make people feel a certain way. Like, it's really hard to find really good friends. Like, people, maybe you hang out here and there. But I had a therapist once say, if you die with at least 2 very good, solid friends who would always do right by you, you're lucky. That would be lucky to have 2 people, because of how fleeting, flitty, and finicky people are. So everybody has either their own personal issues or they need other people to be a certain way. So it's really difficult to find really good friends. And all you need, there are people with all kinds of experiences in life, and even say you try to be friends with someone who's looking for friends, you could say one thing and it doesn't set well because of their experience, and they don't feel like talking to you any longer, or what have you. So, and that can be, set in stone and all that. Anyway. So say people belong to certain networks, as if there was a radio in the sky, and they wind up with certain words often in their vocabulary. Say there's someone who's not that bright, yet they said, oh, it's good to be selective about your friends. It's like, that's actually kind of a sophisticated way to express something, and this person is not sophisticated at all. She might be heavily fed, and she would just happen to be on, say, it could happen, the Friends Select program or line, if you will, of communication. But that's interesting, because she's not that bright of a person. She's got a wheel and deal, smoke her pot, and seem like, she's a wheeler and dealer. A user is what I call wheeler and dealers. She has to be a little bit gangster. But she's not like super bright in the academic way. I don't mean to sound condescending. It's more like this person got off easy her whole life because she didn't have to sit there with a dictionary, a thesaurus, working out sentences, trying to figure out how to even speak. She's been fed fast her entire life, which is how you can become a wheeler and dealer. You've seen these people at parties, and they gotta wrangle people in. They have the gift of gab, or the skill of getting people in trouble, wrangling people in. I need you over here, this over here, so that I can do what I need to do. It's